It's all these multiple people. The moment when it was announced that BN was coming here, they were the ones who were telling us that we have to get him in the studio. We do not take it for granted. He did not have to be here. He completely did not have to be here.
Especially before a show.
Yes, especially a night before a show.
Just before a show. That's
Yes.
when you go into hibernation, uko in quarantine,
Yeah.
you hata unaangalia ile chakula unakula, you know.
Yeah.
So
he did not
Yeah.
he did not have to be here. So BN, wherever you are, we thank you so much.
So it can get a little bit frustrating, especially kama umezoea kupewa jibu ya immediately yes. But then it's something that, and as you can say, that is why there's that big artist without any scandals. It's something that they have set protocols and rules that they follow, and you have to go through them, despite the fact that you might know them outside of that relationship. But when it comes to dealing with beyond the artist, there are certain ways on how it's handled in a very professional way. Very cool guy, very friendly guy, very funny, mtacheka nini and everything, and very down to earth. I really appreciate the fact that it was quite easy to organize on how we're meeting that day, how we're picking him up, coming to the studio, going back to the studio. Like, it was quite seamless and easy and relaxed. And I really appreciate for accepting to join us and giving us his time and being able to come and be free and speak openly and candidly.
yes.
About
Openly and candidly.
everything that we wanted to talk about. So I want to thank him a lot, and I want to thank
Everything from being a musician to a business person. He was open to any questions and he would answer. But the other thing is, he was like, in reggae music, they call him stepping razor. He's very calm, but so deep. It's like, so it's very, you might seem like very small the way he talked, but if you think about it, if you think through, he was so deep about what he was talking about. Very confident, because I guess what he was doing.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's just, to me, I was just honored for him to be here.
What was your feeling when BN finally walked into the studio na akashika guitar akakaa pale chini akaicheza kidogo?
I don't think
Well,
that guitar hasn't
Yeah.
been cleaned.
Yeah.
Oh, first of all, that was my guitar.
Okay.
So
all
for
right.
him to play my guitar,
Sema tena ni nini?
ilikuwa ni guitar yangu.
Okay.
Ibanez acoustic electric. So
Atiango.
Ibanez. So one, kukubali kuja.
Yeah.
To me,
Yes.
that was big.
Correct.
That's one big
Just
thing.
and before a show.
And the other thing is, the moment you get somebody of that caliber, right? Those type of people, you work hard to make sure that you deliver, right?
Yeah.
So there were some issues, but I'm still proud of how hard we work behind the scene, prior to that show. So the pre-production to me was everything, resetting everything, get the, DJ machine out so that he could perform. But he was kind enough to come, sit, tune, and perform. And we didn't even tell him before that. It was like, hey, that's your seat if you don't mind to give us one song. So that was cool to me. But now when it comes to interview, he, I was so surprised, amazed, and also one thing I liked about it, he's very open about almost everything. It's like open book on how a musician can succeed.
Yeah.
How he did, what he's doing, and what he wants to do, how he turned from just being a musician to some sort of another empire, all this stuff.
A businessman,
So he talked about everything from being a musician to a business person. He was open to any questions and he would answer. But the other thing is, he was like, in reggae music, they call him stepping razor. He's very calm, but so deep. It's like, so it's very, you might seem like very small the way he talked, but if you think about it, if you think through, he was so deep about what he was talking about. Very confident, because I guess what he was doing.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's just, to me, I was just honored for him to be here and do what he did. And even though he had he had another engagement right after the show.
Yes.
Correct.
He did not rush us out.
No.
No.
He was like, yeah, but I need to finish, but I have people to
Yes, I have
to
another.
attend. And that was like 24 hours before the show. So this is not like he was trying to make sure, hey, everybody just buy tickets. He was not here just to sell the ticket. He was here just to answer every question. And to me, that was enough respect to him.
Yeah, now before going to Mika also, because Mika was actually a very big part.
You mean pivotal?
On Bien being able to come here to the studio. Bien is not anyone. He's now like a big international artist, and he's about to explode.
He's a Grammy winning.
Yes, he's a Grammy winning artist.
I'm sorry.
So thank you so much, Mika Kwanza, for that, and also thank you to Muzi of Jabali Africa. Thank you to Brenda BK. Brenda is tuned in here. There were a number of people
In the back end.
Who made sure that this happened. And one thing that I always tell people, it is very important to have good relations with
your network.
Is your net worth.
Yes, because it's all these multiple people. The moment when it was announced that Bien was coming here, they were the ones who were telling us that we have to get him in the studio. We do not take it for granted. He did not have to be here. He completely did not have to be here.
Especially before a show.
Yes, especially a night before a show.
Just before a show. That's
Yes.
when you go into hibernation, uko in quarantine.
Yeah.
You hata unaangalia ile chakula unakula, you know.
Yeah.
So
he did not he did not have to be here. So Bien, wherever you are, we thank you so much. We interacted for quite a bit, but we truly appreciate this. This was and the show, for those who watched it, it was it was an episode that had gem after gem after gem that was dropped, and we're going to be going through that. But let me quickly go to Mika and maybe just give us a bit of the behind the scenes of what happened. Maybe the ups and downs that you faced.
That tenderized.
Yes, that allowed for Bien to come to the One Mic Show. Mika, maybe talk to us about that. Now, this is some of the spicy, the juice and the sauce that we give to people who tuned in live. Mika, twende kazi.
As you said, Bien is not just somebody who you wake up and DM them and mwambie I have this show, I want to interview you. It's one of those situations whereby you have to approach from different angles. So I was lucky. I had people who had access to him and his team. And then one thing about it is that it's not just somebody that you will tell him this and then he'll say yes first. So it's something that is coordinated throughout the team. There are various parts of the team that exist. They all have to be in sync in what they're doing. So it can get a little bit frustrating, especially kama umezoea kupewa jibu ya immediately yes. But then it's something that, and as you can say, that is why there's that big artist without any scandals. It's something that they have set protocols and rules that they follow, and you have to go through them, despite the fact that you might know them outside of that relationship. But when it comes to dealing with beyond the artist, there are certain ways on how it's handled in a very professional way. Very cool guy, very friendly guy, very funny, mtacheka nini and everything, and very down to earth. I really, really appreciate the fact that it was quite easy to organize on how we're meeting that day, how we're picking him up, coming to the studio, going back to the studio. Like, it was quite seamless and easy and relaxed. And I really, really appreciate for accepting to join us and giving us his time and being able to come and be free and speak openly and candidly.
Yes.
About
candid.
everything that we wanted to talk about. So I want to thank him a lot, and I want to thank people who behind the scenes, like Brenda, Muzi, Kina Charisma. Like, it was a bunch of people who allowed this to be able to happen.
Yeah, everybody worked.
Okay.
Everybody really worked.
Okay, na hiyo hapo asante sana, because Mika was spending, like sleepless nights trying to make sure that this was going to happen. And this was a special midweek edition. A midweek edition, these are very rare moments. I think from when the One Mic Show started broadcasting, I think maybe Joho was a midweek edition. I think maybe
Four?
three.
Three?
Was Joho
Joho,
Kansime?
Kansime was actually a weekend. It was a Saturday.
Was a Saturday.
Kansime was a Saturday, yes. Kansime was a Saturday. And you know Kansime, when we did Kansime, we had not even started doing video.
Yes.
We had not even started doing video, yeah. So that was a couple of years ago. So these are very rare moments. And I know there are people who sometimes ask us, hey, mbona hii kitu musichape kila siku? You see, even that midweek
Talk
episode,
to me about that.
yeah, that midweek episode, there was so much that was happening behind, and I think I'm gonna go to Bandio because most of these things, most people who are watching were not able to see. The challenge with a midweek episode is that, first of all, you have a very short time to prepare.
Yep.
From when you're done with the Friday episode to you're in a situation where you're not sure if you're going to have an episode, because I think the confirmation came on it came in on Mother's Day, when people were like out with their families na nini. Came on Mother's Day. That's when the solid confirmation came from Mika. And Bandio was already on all of us. Aya, Ali fanya hivi, OneMic fanya hivi, we fanya hivi, because it's a very short time.
Correct.
It was preparation
All
between,
hands on deck.
typically we have like 6 days to prepare from when a show is over to the next show, but this one we literally had
Monday.
we had Monday only. We had late Sunday and Monday only to prepare. The show was on Tuesday. That comes with its own sets of challenges, especially on the production part, which Bandio and I went back and forth and got some very good insight on the meaningful question, because with Bien there's like 100 questions that you can ask him, but you have to ask him questions that are relevant to the moment, relevant to what's happening, and something that the audience can pick up and identify with. So that was a challenge in terms of preparation. However, there was the technical side of things, and that's where like Bandio maybe come in and let us in kidogo too on some of the challenges that we had with this episode that were not necessarily visible to
All
the
of it,
people who are
I
watching,
guess.
but
Yeah.
some challenges that we were experiencing.
Na
Kulikuwa
usitumie
na
full
tension.
scap.
Yeah.
Usitumie full scap, please.
One AC liquid off.
Eh?
Yes. So it was hot in here.
Yes.
It was burning.
Mhm.
And he did not complain.
Not even for a minute.
That
Na
guy.
alikuwa amevaa jacket.
Yes. And we had to move the fan and do this and that. And you just, you feel bad when you know that this guy is going through hell because of you, and he's not even saying anything.
Yeah.
All you could see is just do like this to see
Yeah.
if he's
Beads.
sweating.
Yeah.
And, so that was one. And two, even though we did set the Facebook, for whatever reason, Facebook didn't kick it.
Yeah.
Right. Which is the same thing that happened today on the other side, So these things happen most of the time behind the scene. Even though I spent, how long was the show? Because I prepared the show. I was here for like
the show was
6 hours.
almost 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, but I spent over 6 hours in here trying to get everything right, where he's going to sit, where the shot's going to be, to make sure the AC was okay. We set it up, YouTube, that, and the phone and everything. And right when we were about to start the show, we got notification that Skype
is no longer in business.
no longer in business.
Yeah.
All right. So we tried to find another way to pick up the call, because we use Skype to call Travel Bridge and then Travel Bridge to connect the show. So that's another reason we did not have phone calls. But again,
I thought that you guys were doing cord cutting. Is it cost cutting?
no. We don't have any Doge in here. Department of Kilimanjaro Studio Efficiency. Haipo you. And then
You're seeing it okay.
okay. So I think those are the few, but if that was some of the artists that I know, omundani kusingekuwa.
Yeah.
They would have left, right?
Yes.
Now besides the technical part, there's also the superstitious part. For those who are tuned in every week, you notice that I was sitting in a different position.
I don't think they can tell.
No, but I think with the full shot of the
it's hard
studio
now that we have
with the full shot of the studio. Someone who watches us every week would have noticed I was sitting in a different position from the one that I normally sit.
Yes.
And this is where
you were here and not there.
And not I was there and not here. And this is where there had to be some very intense negotiations that happened for me to accept to sit on that other side. In fact, initially, Bien is the one who was meant to sit on the same side with me, and I was supposed to contact the interview with him to akiwa kando, and mentally, I just wasn't ready for that. And this is your
eyes were not connecting with his eyes.
No, it's you see, and these are some of those things that people don't necessarily know. Unaona, sometimes, like even when people who are playing sports, there's certain rituals they do. Kuna vile anavaa nguo. There's certain things.
Kwani uliambiwa na mganga kwamba you have to?
No, okay. It's a mental thing.
Type C.
It's a Type very C. mental thing. Now your change, it would have been nice, like if I had prepared for it earlier. Nikajua kwamba ndakuwa.
If we told you the Friday before.
Yes, okay. it would have been.
One, we only had one day,
to it. Yeah.
And two, with Mika bringing Bien here.
Yes.
And the way our cameras are channeled to the computer.
Yeah.
There's a maximum number of it.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it was hard for us to have all 5 of you.
Yes.
In the shots, know, so that was so we had to make executive decision to switch everything up so that people can. So like I told Ali, the goal here is to make sure you maintain the standard of the show than the shot.
Yes.
Got it.
So sometimes you have to change the shots to make sure the show at least maintain the standard.
Ali alijaribu though.
He did.
He tried, because me I knew here it's a wrap. Kwa sababu huyu.
No, and you see, the thing is, that's where sometimes you have to make those compromises, and that's why I like the team that we have here, because when compromises are required to be made, we are gonna do them, and I'm glad this never spilled over to the live episode. But there was a lot of tension, but as soon as like the show started and everything went, Bien made it very easy. Bien made it very easy, and it ended up being a very amazing show. He's one of those very easy guests to interview. There are some difficult guests to interview. One day I'm going to reveal who they are, but here you have to stay tuned in to know. But Bien is a very easy guest to interview. So because you're basically using the talking points or the questions you want just as a guide, because he's already guiding you towards a conversation, we're able to get more than what we asked for, despite the fact that it wasn't a full 3-hour show. And then, of course, we're not able to get the call-ins. And I think maybe that was, in one way or another, it was a good thing, because we had a very short time with him, and he was dropping a lot of games. Apologies to fans who are tuned in and they were expecting to get a call in and say something to
Well, they can call in today. Let's see if they can do it.
Yes, the number is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. Let us know what you think, what you thought about the episode and the gems that Bien dropped.